नमस्ते गेमर्स! द लेजी गेमर्स नेपालको MLBB कम्युनिटी हो। हिरो स्टोरीज, मोन्टाज क्लिप्स र टुर्नामेन्ट अपडेट्सको लागि जोइन हुनुहोस्।
Alright, let's jump right into today's explainer. We're looking at a character whose mind is literally as vast and intricate as the cosmos itself. You know, in the universe of Mobile Legends, some characters become legends because of brute strength, and others because they carry this profound, heavy tragedy. But today we are talking about Luo Yi, the Yin-Yang Geomancer. And let me tell you, she is not your standard villain. She's this incredibly calm, terrifyingly intelligent strategist fighting to restore a lost cosmic balance. The real danger with her isn't just the magic she throws around, it's her absolute, uncompromising understanding of how the world actually works.
So, right off the bat, to really get into her headspace, we have to completely rethink everything we know about order and chaos. What is true balance, anyway? Usually when we hear yin and yang, we just picture these basic concepts, right? Light and darkness, good and evil. But to grasp Luo Yi's story, we gotta dig a lot deeper. For her, absolutely everything can be controlled if you just understand its opposite. Every force has a counterforce. Every single action has a reaction. Keep that in the back of your mind as we go, because her answer to that question literally changes the fate of an entire world.
And this brings us right to her core motivation. You have the flawed, broken piece of the current Cadia Riverlands on one side, and the flawless, ancient unity of Yin and Yang on the other. See, most people look around this world and they just see peace. They think, hey, everything's working exactly as it should. But Luo Yi looks at that exact same world and sees a massive compromise. She sees a society just pretending to be balanced, slapping bandages over the wounds of these ancient cosmic wars. To figure out why she looks at things so radically differently, we have to take a look at where she actually came from.
Which brings us to part 1, the lonely successor.
So, she was raised as an orphan and chosen to be the successor to the Grand Sorceress. Her whole early life was basically caged in by ancient texts, incredibly strict rituals, and just immense loneliness. She grew up in Juana, which wasn't your average city. It was this spiritual stronghold where yin energy was super concentrated, and the people there were die-hard believers in their duty to guard it. But for a brilliant kid like Luo Yi, all that prestige, it honestly just felt like a prison. No games, no childhood friends playing in the streets, just dusty scrolls, crushing expectations, and a mind that moved way, way faster than anyone else around her. And because of that brilliant mind, she harbored this one forbidden question. A question that proved she wasn't just blindly absorbing magic, but actually dismantling the core dogma of her masters. How can we guard yin without understanding yang? Like, everyone else just took the elders' teachings as gospel, right? They memorized the chants, bowed to the symbols, the whole shebang. But Luo Yi flat out asked her master how they could possibly protect one half of a whole while completely ignoring the other. It was a subtle but incredibly dangerous rebellion. She saw right away that separating yin from yang in their minds was already a massive, fatal flaw.
Moving on to part 2, a world reborn.
Eventually, her questioning led her to the mysterious Cliff of Endless Lights, where she experienced a massive spiritual awakening. It was like a 3-step revelation. She was hit with this cinematic vision of a lost age where yin and yang actually merged perfectly, guided by heavenly figures like Fu Yang and Su Yin. First, she saw the River of Souls, right? And here, black and white energies weren't fighting, they flowed and danced in absolute perfect harmony. Then, step 2, she saw the Ancient Ones, the literal divine architects of the original Cadia Riverlands. And finally, the lost truth hit her. The magic she dedicated her whole life to studying was nothing but faint, watered-down echo of this magnificent, forgotten reality. Honestly, this vision totally radicalized her. It wasn't just a neat history lesson, it was deeply personal. She discovered she actually shared a bloodline with these Ancient Ones. And suddenly it clicked. Her city, her master, her entire world, they were all just desperately clinging to a broken imitation of the past. From that exact second, she was no longer just the dutiful successor, she became a visionary. She made it her absolute life's mission to restore that primal balance and bring back that ancient utopia, literally no matter what it cost. That sets the stage for part 3, Awakening the Black Dragon. So to rebuild a world, she knew she needed a wrecking ball big enough to tear the current one down, right? Enter Yu Zhong. Together they form one of the absolute most lethal pairings in all the lore. Yu Zhong is the reincarnation of the Black Dragon. His whole deal is raw power. He wants to unify the Cadia Riverlands through sheer conquest. And Luo Yi? Well, she needs exactly that kind of devastating physical power to shatter the status quo.
She strikes up this terrifying alliance with him, letting him think he's leading the charge for conquest, while she's secretly using his every move to fulfill her own deep, philosophical goal of restoration. She plays the loyal follower perfectly, but it's all a meticulously calculated exchange.
And that is exactly what makes her so dangerous. Yu Zhong might be the dragon, but Luo Yi is the mind that understands where the dragon actually needs to fly. She's the mastermind operating in the shadows, just patiently pointing this devastating force of nature at her targets to reshape the land. While he's bringing the thunder and lightning, she's quietly drawing the map. She is the architect here. Her vision is arguably way bigger than the dragon she's serving, because she isn't just trying to conquer a kingdom, she's trying to reconstruct the fabric of reality itself back to its ancient roots.
Which takes us to our final section, Strategist of the Storm.
Naturally, having a vision that grand puts her on a direct collision course with the realm's defenders. She ends up fighting heroes like Zilong, Ling, Wanwan, and Baxia. But here's the kicker, she doesn't oppose them out of malice or hatred, not at all. She fights them because she thinks their whole heroic mission to protect the present peace is just settling. It's settling for a damaged, incomplete world. The Oriental fighters are the noble guardians holding the line against the Black Dragon's chaos. But Luo Yi, she basically pities their small ambitions. To her, they're valiantly defending a rundown shack, while she is trying to build a palace.
What's super cool is how perfectly this lore translates into her actual in-game abilities. She treats every single skirmish like a high-stakes game of chess, manipulating polarity in space. You see it when she marks enemies with Yin and Yang sigils. When opposites attract, boom, the enemies are violently yanked together. She literally punishes them just for standing in the wrong place at the wrong time. And her ultimate, Diversion, it teleports her entire team across the map in the blink of an eye. She isn't just throwing out damage, she is dictating the very space and timing of the battlefield itself. It is her profound philosophy turned into incredibly devastating combat mechanics. So looking at all of this, we really have to ask ourselves, is she a true villain or a misunderstood savior? Is it genuinely evil to accept the catastrophic, bloody cost of war if you truly, deep down, believe it will resurrect a perfect, sacred harmony? This is exactly what makes her such a compelling, morally great character. She's not out for petty revenge, she's not a chaotic monster, and she's not hungry for power. She is completely calm. She genuinely wants peace, balance, and restoration. The terrifying part is just that her definition of balance requires completely breaking the current world first. She justifies massive suffering because, in her mind, the ultimate math works out to a return to cosmic perfection. She sees the map when others see only the road. She's a strategist with a mind almost too vast for ordinary morality. And you know, when you're looking at the entire map from 1,000 feet up, it becomes pretty easy to forget the individual people walking on the roads down below. A destroyed village, it just looks like a necessary stepping stone in history. That's the tragic, captivating reality of the Yin-Yang Geomancer. She saw the truth of the ancient Cadia Riverlands, and it burdened her with a mission that might just burn her world to the ground. So what do you guys think? Does a noble, grand vision ever justify a ruthless execution? Let that thought linger as we wrap up today's explainer.
नमस्ते गेमर्स द लेजी गेमर्स नेपालको MLBB कम्युनिटी हो हिरो स्टोरिज मोन्टाज क्लिप्स र टुर्नामेन्ट अपडेट्सको लागि जोइन हुनुहोस्